Google Forms as tests. So what you'll need to do is just start by going to google.com. Okay? And then if you have the blue sign in button up here, go ahead and sign in with your AISD Panthers account. If you have a picture or your letter of your name, then you're already signed in and you're good to go. So then the next thing you'll need to do is you'll need to click on your waffle. This opens up all the apps for you. And the easiest way to get there is just going to be to go to your drive. So click on that triangle. And then your drive pops up. And then the way to get to a new form is over here on the left-hand side where you see new. Go ahead and click it. You're not going to see it on this list, so you're going to have to click more and then slide on over to Google Forms. Here's the Google form. Now, if you are like me, you will forget to title this and save it as a specific type of form. I have a million untitled forms. So the first thing that I always do now, after knowing that I have a million untitled forms, is to go ahead and give this a name. Okay. And then whenever you come here, this is going to be the title of your test. It should be the same as this or very similar. And whenever you go ahead and click it, since you have it named up here, it changes the name down here for you. Thank you, Google. The first question should be your student's name. You can either split it up and do student's first name or student's last name or just student name. And then what happens, because Google is Google, and it can tell that this is a question that would need a short answer response for, and so it goes ahead and changes it. Now, let's say you have a class list of all your kids, and you just want them to pick from the multiple choice question which name is theirs. You can change it to their name. You can change it to the multiple choice option. But for now, we're going to keep it short answer. Now, there's this little toggle here that says required. What you can do is you can click this to on, and this question is now required. So if they leave it blank and go down and they hit submit, it won't let them submit because they haven't put in an answer. I like to make all my test questions required unless it's like a bonus or something like that, simply because I don't want them to go through, hit submit, and then there you go. There went a whole answer that they could have gotten right. They just didn't know that they didn't answer it. So I make them all required for that specific reason. Okay, I'm done with this question. Now I need to add my next question. If you'll go over here, hit add question, hit that plus sign. You can add your first real question. If I can type. What color is the sky? And go ahead and put in some options. I just hit enter after every option whenever I want to add in the next option. Might be too close to what the real color is. So there are my 4 options. Okay, you can put as little options or as many options as you really want. If you don't want it multiple choice and you want them to be able to pick more than one answer, you can hit check boxes. They can come through and they can actually check each individual when they want to, if the sky is blue or black, depending on the day, right? Down here, 3 dots. If you click those 3 dots, you can give a description. Whenever I use check marks or check boxes, I always have the description of you may select more than one option. Because they won't know to. They won't know that they're able to. And then I make it required. Okay. Okay, I'm ready for my next one. My question. And there are my answer choices. Now, let's say I want to add pictures to this. I can come over here and add an image. I can do a Google search for air, and it'll give me all of these pretty pictures. I like this one. Select, and it loads it there for you. Okay, now I need one for water. That's a perfect one. And then one more for my last option. Perfect. So now I have pictures to go along with my answer choices, and that's really good for things like money. If you want, which of the following is a nickel, or which of the following is worth 5 cents, things like that. Make sure it's required. Make sure it's required. Okay, so now I have my test. You add questions until you're done adding. So now I'm done with my test. I need to check my options. So I'm going to go up here to this gear, which is settings. And the first screen that you're going to see is going to be general. If you are having them work on individual Chromebooks, it's going to be easy to restrict it to anybody from Anahuac Independent School District. And then if you have it restricted to that, you can limit it to one response. If you're having your students take a test on a computer that you have in your classroom and you want it just one after another and you want it quickly, you do not have to limit it to Anahuac Independent School District users. You do not have to limit to one response, but you will have to watch them closely on that, okay? And you have some other answers and choices for that. You can go to presentation, and you are able to shuffle the question order, which is perfect. That it's harder to cheat. If you have them working on that individual or that one student computer and you want it one after another, you can check this box and say, show a link for another response. And that way you can just click that link. So that is, jumped off of that. Let me get back to it. So that is a show link to submit another response. So keep it on if you need to, or turn it off if you don't want them to go and submit something else. Quizzes. So now that you've made your test and you have it set up on your general and your presentation the way you want it, now I want it to actually be a test. So you're going to make this a quiz. And then after you make it a quiz, you have some options after that. You have options on when you want to release the grade. You can either release it immediately after each submission, to where they've submitted and then they have a little link that says view score and they can see it right then and there. Or you can let them look at their grade later after you already have looked at it and manual review. And then after you let them see their score, they can either see the missed questions, correct answers, point values, or anything that you want them to be able to see. Now, as a secondary teacher, I can tell you I would never let my kids see the missed questions or the correct answers until we went over it together, because what happens in first period, not really sure what's happening with my screen. But what happens in first period is they take the test and then they see which questions that they missed and they know what answers they picked, so they can tell second period, hey, I got this one wrong and this is what I picked, so it's not that answer. So I wouldn't let them see any of it, but it's up to you. And then you can let them see the point values, how much that question was actually worth. And then you hit save after you made your decision on all those. And now whenever you go back to your test, you see, when you click on this question, you see down here, answer key. If you click on answer key, now you can actually have your answers selected. So my test was 2 questions. So if they miss one, well, it's 50 points. And then, that's not the right answer. And so now I get to choose the correct answer. Blue and black, because sometimes when it's storming, it's black. Just their checkboxes, so I wanted to show you that. Now, to go back to edit the question, like, you know what, I want to make this multiple choice and I don't want black to be an option. You hit edit question. The sky is definitely not. Pink. Well, let's go with that. And then I'm going to change the type to multiple choice. Okay. And then you go down to the next one and you click that question, answer key. This one's worth 50 points as well. And then that's not the right answer. Water is the correct answer. And again, I can edit question if needed. Okay, so now my test is ready for the kids to take. So how do they take it? Up here, top right, you see send. If you click that, it pops this up. Now you can email it to them, but that's difficult too. But if you click this little paperclip thing, it gives you a link and you can shorten it. This link is what you'll put in the student computers that you have, or you can give this link to your kids to go to, anything like that, whatever way is easiest for you. And so you can hit copy and you can put it in there for them. You can just write it down and put it in the student computer. Like I said, whatever you need to do for that. You can even email this to me and I can get you a Padlet going to where all that they do is they open up their Chromebook and then sign in, and then a web page pops up of Padlet and then they can click on that link. If you want me to do that, if you're interested in that, just let me know. So there you go. Something else cool that you can do, if you click on this little color palette, you can change the color of it. You can also go down here to this picture button, and you know what, Easter's coming up. So I'm going to oh, perfect, Easter. And then there you go. So it kind of just changes how it looks for your kids. If you want to see how it looks or how it will look for your kid, if you choose the little eyeball, it's the preview, and there you go. So it's shuffling the answer order, or the question order, sorry. So you have the questions in crazy order. When you do change that question order, it will put your student name somewhere else. But on your response side, whenever you go and see the responses, student name will always be that first question and that first answer. So let's look at responses. Let's fill in a few real fast so you can see it. John Doe, what is rain made of? Submit. Okay, so I just took the test, and here's the view score button. Oh, I missed this. Man, the correct answer is water. Oh, I got that one right. Okay, so what did I make? Oh, man, I made a 50. Well, there you go. Okay, let's take another one. See. Oh, got that one right. Oh, got that one right. So I have made a 100. So there you go. So now that you're done giving your test, all your students took the test, go back here to responses. This is some good data for you. You can see I had, here's my average, here's the median, here's the range, I have who took it, I have this question here. So each individual question, it actually puts it out there for you and shows you a graph. 100% of the people who took the test got this answer, and it was the correct answer. So I know I do not have to go back over this question and reteach that TEK. But this one, it's 50-50. So if I had more than 2 people taking it, a whole class, it was still 50% getting it wrong, or only 50% getting it right. And then, you have different answers and different amounts of people getting the other answers, then I know I need to reteach that TEK. So that's something quick you can look at. You can also see question by question. Okay, and these are so this question, student name, these are what we got. What color is the sky? Both of them were this. And then there you go. And then you can look at the individual submissions. So this is John Doe's test. So I come down here and I see exactly, it's graded for them. And then I can go to the next one, and here's Jane Doe's. Now, if you like paper, if you want, this is always going to be there. But if you want to print it out and maybe give to a parent or keep for your data, whatever you want, what you can do is you can, on individual under responses, click the three dots, and you can download responses, but this is going to be an Excel sheet, or you can print all responses and it turns it into a PDF for you. And so then you can have it, listed like this. Now, if you didn't have pictures, it would make it smaller and it would fit on one page, but that's okay. And so then you could print that and you could have that as your data. Okay. You can just print one response. That's the way to just print one. It doesn't give you all of them, just that one student that you were on at that point. Oh, and I got out of it. That is unfortunate. If you just wanted to make sure all your students took it, let's see, you can even create a spreadsheet, or if you wanted to do some other things with it, you can do a spreadsheet. Create a new spreadsheet and it labels it for you. Hit create, and then there you go. And you can change this in alphabetical order. So I want it by student name. And this is where I would split it up, last name, first name. That way, for me to put it in my grade book, I could do alphabetical order by the last name. So that's why I had two different questions. But so I click on that little arrow. I can short sheet that way, and then there's my Jane Doe. So I know this one's going to be first in my grade book and 100, and then this is going to be the next one in my grade book, 50. So it just will make life easier if you have the last name and then first name. If you have a whole slew of kids you have to put grades in the grade book for. That's pretty much it. If you have any questions, just let me know. And one more thing, so accepting responses. So if you're done with the test and you had a couple absent, but you don't know when they're coming back, you can check that toggle and turn it off to where nobody can actually fill in that or even see that test until you're ready for those other students to take it. So that's another option for you. If you have any questions, just let me know.